I think he was talking directly about Palestine when he said, if you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. What's happening, thank you. What's happening right now in Palestine is a tragedy, but it's been happening in varying degrees for a very, very long time now. But I don't want to speak too much about what's happening in Palestine because I think Ghada did a great job. I'd rather try to offer a little bit of a more positive message and tell you that the tidal wave of public opinion is changing. I've seen it since, since I've been a kid and my dad took me to rallies. There was maybe 7 or 8 of us here, whereas if you look around you, there's a lot more people here right now. It's almost become kind of a hip thing now to be pro-Palestinian. And that's not a bad thing, but that's also not the reason why you're here tonight or today. And that's not the reason why we do what we do. The reason we do what we do is the same reason that, the same thing that scares the oppressors so much, and that's the truth. Once you have the truth on your side, it's very easy to justify things. With social media now and the global village that we live in, it's very, very hard for Israel to hide its injustices. It's very, very hard to hide the truth of what's going on. As Dr. Ghada said, we literally saw a 13-year-old boy, as he's dying, being sworn at, people swearing at him, and somehow it just didn't shake the world like we thought it would. And the reason it didn't is because, I feel at least, is because we're not consistent enough. I truly believe that most people, no matter what color, race, or religion, are good people. If they think there's a good cause, they'll stand behind it. But you can't give them a message for a week when you're enraged and let the propagandists tell the story of Palestine for the rest of the year. It won't work. We have to tell the story of Palestine ourselves, because it's our story. And I don't mean just Palestinians, I mean humans, all humans. It's not up to them to tell our story. We need to start taking on more long-term projects. I like rallies, I like demonstrations, I like events, I think they're very good. But I think, and I've said this before, every one of you has a God-given talent. I meet so many people in the community who are amazing artists, who are amazing musicians, whatever, writers. We don't know about them because we don't support their projects. Sometimes we only show up when it's being televised. We need to start doing these things long term so that the story of Palestine stays front and center and it's in everyone's memory. I think it's a very important thing. If you have any talent at all or any passion towards anything, please start a group. Again, like I said, we're a global village. It's very easy to start an online group that affects people all over the world. It's not a bad thing to have 7 or 8 groups in the city, as long as we're all working together. So if you do have a talent or you, in some way that you can help the suffering of the Palestinian people and you're not sure how to reach out, who to go to, contact one of the organizers. There's a lot of people in this city who have resources and networking abilities that can help you and link you with other people. And I encourage you, the people who do have these networking and resources, reach out to some of our talented youth who have a passion for this. Let's start making Palestine a full year-round story that we tell, not just at events and not just at demonstrations. One other thing too, and this is not just a local issue, it's a global issue. Don't stand in anyone's way. If someone's doing something good and you can't contribute, just don't hinder that, what they're doing. Let them move forward and let them keep marching forward on their path. Change is something that it's hard to see. Sometimes you don't see it in a lifetime, so you become impatient. And this is for myself more than anyone else. I'm the kind of person that gets really impatient. I sit at home and I watch YouTube videos and I blog and I go and I sit with other groups and I think it's so obvious, the issue of Palestine, who's the bad and who's right and who's wrong, but people just, they can't see it for some reason. And I've realized it is about consistency, because you're sitting with someone for 10 minutes, but then later on they're gonna go watch TV and they're gonna look at social media and they're being told a totally different story. So when you're out there and you're speaking about Palestine, really speak from the heart. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Don't just give one-liners or cliche lines. Really think about the issue of Palestine. And when you speak, like I said, speak from the heart. Change is going to come because change is the only constant. Free Palestine. Assalamu alaikum.